Parent company of TikTok once planned to track the locations of specific U.S.-based users, according to new reporting from Forbes. The Internal Audit and Risk Control Department of the Beijing-based ByteDance tech company, which owns TikTok, primarily deals with internal HR matters. However, according to materials obtained by Forbes, the department at one point planned to collect the location data of a U.S. citizen who had never had an employment relationship with ByteDance.
Back in 2020, former President Trump announced plans to ban TikTok in the U.S. because of national security risks concerns associated with the China-based app. In September, TikTok and the Biden administration drafted an initial deal to resolve the concerns. However, the sides have yet to come to an agreement. Here's something very interesting about TikTok, Robbie. It's banned in China, okay? That tells you everything you need to know about this app. Right? The Chinese banned it because they created an app that destroys civilizations, and then they exported it to the United States and banned it for their own people. And President Trump understood this and was like, why are we going to allow this app that they have correctly understood is so dangerous into our country? Let's ban it. And then another one of those things, he actually didn't really follow through with it when he said he was going to. And then, of course, the Biden administration didn't. So, I think that's extremely important context when we're talking about this app, don't you?
Yeah, so TikTok has issued a statement denying this report, although they didn't quite deny it. They said, they could only track kind of the rough location of someone, not like their specific location. Also, all the social media apps do have the ability to track your location in some way. I guess the difference is TikTok was, those apps have to ask you permission and then you tell them no. I guess TikTok wasn't doing that. There's a kind of dispute here. It's interesting. So obviously TikTok does present a much greater concern than the other social media apps because it's beholden to a tyrannical, hostile, authoritarian foreign government that, as you note, would not inflict this app on its own people. I tend to disagree. I think that the main concern is kind of national security related or privacy related, because honestly, all of these apps have massive privacy issues that can't really be resolved and are not that genie is out of that lamp. The Pandora is out of the box, whatever kind of metaphor you want to use. We're just going to have large organizations able to compile a lot of information on you, and there's basically nothing that can be even the strongest regulations imaginable would not really solve this problem at this point. My major concern with TikTok is actually in censorship and narrative shaping, because we've been critical of, for instance, the U.S. government putting pressure on Facebook, for instance, on what you're allowed to say about COVID. That's been really bad. I think it's crossed the line into actually violating the First Amendment. There are lawsuits going on now. There's been some reversals. Alex Berenson is back on Twitter, et cetera. But China can do that with TikTok to a much, much more vast degree. China can just straight up ban wholesale conversations of certain political topics on TikTok, which is now the most used social media site among anyone, especially among young people. So they could just eliminate, for instance, all conversation about COVID or all criticism of China or they could make the dialogue about Ukraine-Russia far more pro-Russia by just voiding out all the pro-Ukrainian side or the other way around. They have much vaster power to do that on TikTok than Facebook or Twitter or whatever you want, or YouTube. Those companies face some pressure from our government and they make some bad moderation decisions, but it's nowhere near what China TikTok can do. And that's actually my number one concern, because the privacy stuff is concerning, but it's kind of that's just what the state we've evolved to. So that's what I'm really worried about, and does perhaps speak to where I don't think breaking up or regulating out of existence the other tech companies is a good idea, or even in keeping with the proper role of our government vis-a-vis the First Amendment. A hostile foreign government and their app. It's essentially like a hostile foreign government owns a media company, a dominant media company in a U.S. market, and I guess how would we have handled that during the Cold War or during World War II or something, right? It would have been Probably not by just letting them run wild. But that's my 2 cents about it. What do you think?
So I don't have a TikTok account. I watch TikTok videos like every respectable elder millennial in compilations on YouTube. Because I don't want to be tracked by the Chinese government. But my understanding is that it's a lot less political than Twitter, that it's mostly entertainment.
Yes.
And so I think you're, of course, right. The censorship, it's a big problem. The national security is a big problem. But to me, the real threat of TikTok is the thing that, see, the Chinese government would want to do both of those things in China, right? They would want to be able to track their own citizens. They would want to be able to censor conversations, right? The reason they banned it in China is because it turns children into obese zombies. And I think that they have a comparable app in China, but kids are only allowed to use it for 15 minutes a day and then it shuts down. And, obviously that's going too far. But that understanding that it destroys your ability to concentrate because the videos are short. It destroys your so now YouTube videos, which are 5 minutes long, feel, interminable because you're used to watching videos that are between 5 seconds and 30 seconds long, right? I mean, that does something to a billion people who are spending 4, 5, 6 hours a day on this app. And, I think that is the thing that they correctly identified, as the major threat from this app. And I think it's really bad. It's really dangerous. And I don't mean that in like they're going to see things. All of the content that I enjoy from TikTok it's very innocent. Like, it's not political. It's people doing like kitchen hacks, and there's something about it that's extremely delightful. And I think that is the danger. It's like, it's very hard to stop. And you're seeing that impact that it's having on kids. Like, if you try to have a conversation with a kid today, they're incapable of a back and forth.
Well,
like
who are these parents who let their kids watch TikTok 6 hours a day? I mean, like, if I was a kid, I would have played Nintendo 64 for 6 hours a day, but my mom wouldn't let me, so I didn't. Like, isn't this a parenting issue on some level? Like, yeah, I absolutely take the phones away. Lock them out of the bedroom at night. Don't let them take their phones into the bedroom at night. Keep them away from the kitchen table. Is this really beyond parents? I understand why it's a little bit harder to police this kind of thing, but it just doesn't seem to me beyond the realm of parenting. Because I do, some kids use TikTok. I think there are some actually advantages it has over Instagram, which is Instagram is very, appearance-based, and we have concerns about, promoting social competition in a very surface level kind of, especially for teen girls, maybe promoting unhealthy body image stuff. Whereas TikTok is a little bit more, seems more creative, more collaborative in a way, because you're, I don't even know what it's called. You're responding to someone else's video. So I think there is something healthy about it. Obviously, anything, if you're doing it for like 6 hours a day, that's like some intense screen focus thing, is going to be bad for you. So yeah, I would just say they should use it less. I don't know that I would ban it on those grounds. In fact, I certainly wouldn't ban it on those grounds. But that's why I see. Well, we reached a topic we have some healthy disagreement on today, so that's good. That's good. There was a lot of agreement in the earlier segments. I know our viewers will appreciate that we do disagree on some things.
Right. See, the criticism of me is like that I want a nanny state, but only one that's going to nanny in a way that I approve of. And you're like, no, the nanny state is bad no matter what it's doing, even if it's doing stuff I like.
Exactly. All right, well, tomorrow on Rising, I'll be back with Brianna Joy Gray to bring you all the day's biggest news. I'm also going to be doing, this is a special event, Brianna and I are going to be doing a call-in show tonight at, I believe, 8 p.m. With Liami, who's also guest host of the show, to talk about House of the Dragon. Nothing news-related, but if that's your thing, you should tune into that. I have no idea how it's done. I've never used call-in before, so we'll probably post about it on Twitter if you want to figure that out and tune in. But Batya, it was such a pleasure to have you with us, and we'll see you again very soon.
See you soon.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and check out Rising anywhere you listen to podcasts. Also on Roku, yay, very excited about that. I will see you back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody.